Unite 2014 continues.
More polls starting to close. We'll have you covered as soon as we start to get results from the hottest races and all the races as well. Thanks for joining us tonight on this Newsmax election special, the Midterms You Decide 2014. I'm Ed Berliner.
I'm J.D. Hayworth, and our team is busy keeping track of all the big wins and, yes, the losses of the night. Let's get an update on numbers right now. John Bogman at our election desk. John?
Hey guys, we're following up with some other campaigns. These aren't the marquee campaigns we're watching, but still important to note. We got some victors in the Oklahoma governor's race and the Nebraska governor's race. Mary Fallin, she was reelected in Oklahoma, and Pete Ricketts winning over Chuck Hasselbrook in Nebraska in those two governor races. Also, not a surprise here either, but we do have a projected winner in the Wyoming Senate race. Mike Enzi cruising to re-election there. Of course, at one point he did face that primary challenge from Dick Cheney's daughter, Liz. That didn't turn out to be really anything. Mike Enzi winning another term as a senator from Wyoming. And as we talked about in the last segment, Democratic Senator Al Franken easily winning re-election in Minnesota. That's what we have since our last update when we announced Jeanne Shaheen winning in New Hampshire. Guys, back to you.
All right, John, thanks so much. One other note that we want to bring in here, which, of course, and I know you'll say this right away, and you are exactly correct, no doubt whatsoever, no shock that ABC News is now projecting that Mary Landrieu and Bill Cassidy will have a runoff in that hotly contested Louisiana Senate race.
Now, let's understand, because at times political slang gets in the way. Louisiana has what is called a jungle primary. That means that the top two finishers, if neither one achieves 50%, the top two finishers go on to a runoff, regardless of partisan labels. So you have seen situations where two Democrats square off. It's much more rare where you'd see two Republicans in that situation in Louisiana. But again, what we will have, it appears now, is the runoff coming, if memory serves, for Louisiana in December. Republican Congressman Cassidy against the Democrat incumbent Senator Mary Landrieu.
And the numbers were 43-42. Cassidy 40. Actually, no, they're changing right now. It's 42-42 is what it's locked at right now, with Manis coming out with 12%. There you go. There's your missed 50%.
And Rob Manis, of course, the former Army officer, the conservative, the Tea Party candidate who had the support of Sarah Palin in the race. It did not work out for him here. It is assumed that the bulk of his supporters will go to the Republican Cassidy.
All right, a couple of other races to look at right now. Colorado and North Carolina. Once again, live from Philadelphia, political consultant Dick Morris. He has handled the winning campaigns of dozens of senators and governors, and he's going to tell us a little bit what he thinks right now about who's winning and who's losing at this point in those states and more. Dick?
Well, this is crucial. We've taken the lead in North Carolina. It's been closing all night, and at the moment, Tillis has 1,047,000. Hagan has 1,041,000. They're tied 48-48. But Tillis, the Republican, has a 7,000 vote lead. That's with 3/4 of the vote in. I think, given what's been going on in the evening, that lead is going to expand, and I think North Carolina will indeed go Republican. Colorado is a very good success story, and they should be getting ready to call it. With 61% of the vote counted, Gardner, the Republican, is 7 points ahead of the incumbent Senator Udall. That, I think, looks like it's going to be a pickup. Now, in New Hampshire, I don't mean to fight the powers that be here, but it's 51-49 with 48% of the vote counted. Sheehan's got 119,000, Brown's got 115,000. When I went to school, that was a 4,000 difference with less than half the vote counted. I would not rack up New Hampshire as a win for the Democrats. And if we win North Carolina, which it looks like we're going to do, we're on pace for 10 if we win New Hampshire. Kansas is looking okay with 26% of the vote in. We're 2 points ahead. I'd like it to be a little more, but still that certainly is a positive number. That would be a take back if we lost it.
So
and in
Dick,
Virginia, you don't know where it is, but Gillespie's still holding on to a 1-point lead with 86% of the vote counted.
Well, if he can hang on there, that would be the huge story of the night. But I'm interested, Dick, again, we have a new category, the not-so-fast category. That's where you're putting New Hampshire. And I'm interested there in the live free or die state, the history of turnouts in the midterms. Usually Republicans are conscientious midterm voters. You think that is going to make the difference and maybe reverse some of these early projections?
It might well, and as you point out, J.D., the story about Sheehan's deep involvement with Lois Lerner in the IRS scandal could be making a difference there. It's important to understand that, you know, in New Hampshire, the evening started with an 8-point Sheehan lead. Now that's down to in effect, a 1-point lead, and I'm not sure that she's going to stay ahead. New Hampshire is not one of those states where part is Republican and part's Democrat. The North is more Democrat, of course, and the North is more Republican, the South more Democrat, but not to speak of. It's not a gigantic difference. So I would not write off New Hampshire. But at the moment, I'm very encouraged by Colorado and North Carolina. I would think that somebody would be, I see that Fox News has just called Colorado for Gardner, which would be the 4th Republican takeaway.
All right, there we go. Dick, we're going to have to stop you there for a moment. We have to take a break. We'll check in with you again. More numbers coming in. Also, celebrities making waves this election cycle. Twitter, Facebook. Don't forget, hashtag #YouDecide2014 to get to us right here. We'll continue on Newsmax right after this.
The Midterms You Decide 2014 will be back in just a moment.